Hello students. So we are discussing the basic block diagram of communication system. So if we see the basic block diagram of communication system, as we discussed in last lecture, there are three blocks: transmitter, channel and the receiver. So transmitter will transmit the information, then it is transmitted through the channel to the receiver. So receiver is the final block which is receiving the information. So these are the three basic blocks required for any communication system. But if we see this diagram in detail, whatever diagram it is given, so it is having some additional blocks. So based on which signal we are transmitting and which communication technique we are using, the blocks in the communication system are changing. So in this block, if we see, the first it is information source. So information source is generating the information signal, or it is generating the message signal. That is also called as the modulating signal. So information signal, whatever we have to transmit, that will be generated by information source, then it is given to the transmitter. So as per the previous discussion, if we are transmitting the signal as it is without doing any modulation on the signal, if we are transmitting as it is, the strength of the signal will go on reducing as the transmission distance is increasing. For example, if I give you simple example, if I am teaching in the class, so without amplification of the voice or without any mic, if I am talking, strength of the voice will go on decreasing as the transmission distance increases. So I may be audible properly for first two benches, but it may not be audible properly for the last bench students. So for that, what I am doing, instead of transmitting voice signal as it is, I am using some processing on that, or I am doing some modification in the signal. I am increasing strength of the signal, so I am amplifying it through the mic, and after amplification I am passing it through the communication channel. That process, whatever is the process of processing the signal to make it more suitable for the long distance transmission, that process it is done in the transmitter part, and then the signal is given to the channel. So instead of transmitting it directly as it is, we are doing some modifications, or we are doing some processing on the signal to increase its strength, and that is done in this transmitter block, and then the signal it is given to the channel. So this is about the transmitter side. Then channel means what? As we discussed, it is a media through which the information we are transmitting. So channel, there are basically four types of channels we are going to see in this chapter: transmission lines, coaxial cable, then optical fibers and waveguides. So these are the four types of channels we have to study in this chapter. So after transmitting the signal through the channel, it is given to the receiver. So if we are using modulation at transmitter part, we have to do demodulation at the receiver part. That is so the concept of modulation, demodulation we will discuss in detail in the next lecture, but just understand here that modulation is a process of changing the characteristics of the signal what we have to transmit, and we are doing the modulation to increase strength of the signal and to make it more suitable for long distance transmission. That is about the transmitter, receiver and channel. Now in the diagram, if you see, noise it is added in the channel. So noise is nothing but it is unwanted signal or unwanted information which is added in the basic information signal at the time of transmission. So in second chapter we are going to see in detail the types of noise, how to minimize the noise, that we are going to see in the chapter number 2. But maximum noise it is added in the channel. So that's why it is shown along with channel. In many block diagrams, noise addition it is also shown. So that is about basic elements of the communication system. So now just briefly we will discuss what is the concept of modulation. So related to modulation only these 2 points are there, baseband and carrier communication. But before going to that point, let us first understand what is the concept of modulation or what is need of the modulation. So to understand the concept of modulation, I am giving you very simple example. So but before that example, just understand that modulation required two signals, modulating signal and carrier signal. So modulating signal means it is the information signal that you have to ट्रान्समिट, म्हणजे तुम्हाला जो ॲक्च्युअल सिग्नल ट्रान्समिट करायचा आहे दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज द मॉड्युलेटिंग सिग्नल और मेसेज सिग्नल. अँड अनदर सिग्नल रिक्वायर्ड इन मॉड्युलेशन इट इज कॅरियर सिग्नल. सो let us take example to understand the concept of modulation. Suppose you have to travel from Pandharpur to Solapur. Please try to understand what is that example. If you have to travel from Pandharpur to Solapur, so you are acting as a message signal. You are going to travel from Pandharpur to Solapur, or you have to move from Pandharpur to Solapur. So you are the message signal, or you are the information signal, or you are the modulating signal. Now you know your strength that after talking for 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, your strength will be reduced, and also your speed is not more. So because of that you will not be able to cover the distance in the less time. So the thing is that you have to move from Pandharpur to Solapur, but by your own. If you want to go by walking, after walking for some distance your speed will be reduced, your strength will be reduced, and with your walking speed if you have to go, that will be very time consuming. Now by understanding your restrictions, what you do, you take help of some another thing which is having more speed than you. So for example, you take help of any vehicle, you take help of any bus, or you take help of any car. मग काय करता तुम्ही, तुमची इफिशियन्सी कमी आहे त्यामुळं तुम्ही दुसऱ्या कुठल्या तरी गोष्टीची हेल्प घेता, अँड दॅट अनदर थिंग विल बी ऑब्वियसली हॅविंग मोर स्पीड ॲज कम्पेअर्ड टू यू. त्याचं जर स्पीड कमी आहे तर यू विल नॉट टेक इट्स हेल्प. त्याचा स्पीड जास्त आहे म्हणूनच आपण त्याची हेल्प घेतो आहे. सो वॉट एवर अनदर सिग्नल यू आर टेकिंग ॲज यू आर